Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we are undertaking a deep dive into really one of the most stark examples of promising talent tragically cut short.
Hmm.
We're looking at the life, the career, and sadly, the devastating death of Darren Lakeith Ross, known to the world as the rapper Lil Snoop.
Yeah, it's a challenging topic. It's really defined by, immense talent on one side and just heartbreaking triviality on the other.
Right.
Our goal today is to give you a clear, synthesized understanding. We want to extract the core facts, his rapid professional rise, the shocking, sort of low-stakes conflict that led to his murder, the serious legal aftermath for those involved, and importantly, how his legacy still echoes in the hip-hop community.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to walk away with a real sense of the story, not just a surface-level summary.
And if you aren't familiar with the details here, the fact that just anchors this whole tragedy is this. Lil Snoop was 18, a rising star, newly signed to Meek Mill's Dream Chasers Records.
Big deal.
Huge deal. Poised for major success, and his life was ended during an argument. An argument that started over betting on a video game.
That contrast is just staggering, isn't it? Major label success one moment, and then a lethal conflict over a simple game the next. It's central to understanding the loss here.
Let's rewind a bit then. Start where his story really began.
Yeah.
Darren Lakeith Ross, born June 13th, 1995.
Yeah, okay.
He came from Jonesboro, Louisiana. He developed the persona Lil Snoop pretty quickly, but that name really didn't capture the serious talent that was bubbling up there in the Louisiana rap scene.
And that talent turned into a huge career opportunity, fast. We're talking early 2013. He was still just 17 years old.
Just 17.
And he gets this deal with Meek Mill's Dream Chasers Records. I mean, this isn't just some local thing. This put him right inside a powerhouse label on the fast track for, national recognition, mainstream success.
And you look at why. Why would Meek Mill, who's known for having a really sharp ear for lyrical skill, sign someone so young? And the answer, it seems blatantly apparent from everything we've seen, it was his freestyle ability, raw talent,
Totally raw.
immediate delivery, that authentic Louisiana grit,
Yeah.
but combined with undeniable skill as a lyricist. He wasn't just potential Meek Mill was hoping might develop later.
No, he was ready.
Yeah, he seemed ready-made. His potential was already, spilling over.
Yeah, the source material really shows his recognition was based purely on that skill. He stood out not for flash, but for substance, that aggressive, focused flow. It really promised longevity in a tough genre. It backs up that immense potential everyone talks about.
Blinding potential. But the reality is that future he'd earned lasted only a few more months. Just a week after he turned 18, June 20, 2013, he was shot and killed.
God, only a week after his birthday.
Yeah. The records say 2 gunshot wounds to the chest. And this happened early. Around 4 a.m. Location was the Maplewood Apartments in Winfield, Louisiana.
And what makes this so hard to process, like you said at the start, is the complete lack of proportion. The motive versus the consequence. This wasn't some complex criminal thing or a long-standing beef.
No. And this detail is just crucial for understanding the immediate context. Police investigators, they determined pretty quickly the shooting resulted from an altercation, an argument that just spiraled out of control during a night of hanging out, and specifically,
The video games?
betting on video games. A simple, low-stakes disagreement that just became lethal instantly.
And this is where it gets even more unsettling, right? The investigation apparently found photographic evidence, a picture showing Snoop and the guy who eventually became the suspect.
Sitting together.
Yeah, sitting together, playing that video game just hours before it all went wrong. It just underscores the shocking speed, the finality of it. A friendly session turns deadly in, like the blink of an eye.
It's a really stark reminder of how quickly things can escalate, isn't it?
Absolutely terrifying.
Okay, let's turn to the legal side, the aftermath.
Right.
Which is, it gets complicated. The primary suspect they identified was a man named Tony Holden.
Right.
He turned himself in to the authorities 6 days after the shooting, June 26, 2013. And his bond, it was set at an astronomical $2 million.
$2 million. Yeah, that signals the severity right there. And Holden faced multiple really severe charges under Louisiana law. We're talking first-degree murder,
Okay.
armed robbery, and illegal possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. These aren't minor charges. They reflect, the highest level of criminal intent.
And when we look at the potential penalties, the statutory maximums mentioned in the source material, the stakes for Holden were just immense, life-altering penalties.
That's exactly right. For first-degree murder in Louisiana, if convicted, it's either mandatory life imprisonment without parole
Life without parole?
or the death penalty. And then the armed robbery charge, that adds significant time on its own, 10 to 99 years. plus an extra mandatory 5 years because a firearm was involved in that robbery.
Wow.
These are punishments designed for the most serious, premeditated crimes.
It's easy to focus on that trivial motive, the video game betting. But given he was also charged with armed robbery, are we sure the betting was just the spark? Could it have exposed something bigger, like a pre-existing conflict over money or something else?
That's a really critical question. The sources we looked at don't spell out the nature of the alleged robbery, like who was he robbing? Snoop. Someone else there. But the charge itself, legally, it does suggest either premeditation or that the violence escalated during another felony.
I see.
So it pulls the event beyond just a simple fight in the heat of the moment, legally speaking.
Which brings us to the second person arrested, Edric O. Stewart. He was 21, taken into custody shortly after Holden, around July 3rd, 2013, also in connection with the incident.
And here's where the legal system makes a really significant distinction. Stewart wasn't booked on first-degree murder. He was booked on a single count of manslaughter.
Okay, manslaughter. So different level of intent.
Exactly. That difference is crucial. First-degree murder usually requires planning, malice, or the killing happening during another serious felony. Manslaughter, though, suggests the death was maybe reckless or occurred in the heat of passion. It implies Stewart's role was seen as fundamentally different from the actual shooter.
Maybe involved in the argument, but not the one pulling the trigger.
Perhaps complicity or involvement in the altercation leading up to it, yeah. The charge suggests something less direct than Holden's alleged role.
And the potential sentence for manslaughter in Louisiana. Still serious, I imagine.
Oh, definitely serious, but it's capped differently. Maximum of 40 years. So there's a clear legal separation being drawn between the two men arrested, even though they were involved in the same fatal event.
Right.
But, and this is important for you listening, we have to be clear about what we don't know from the public record we reviewed.
Yeah.
It's silent on the final outcomes, the final sentences, the current legal status, the actual release dates for either Tony Holden or Edric Stewart.
Yep.
That information isn't readily available in the narrative we have.
So that final chapter of the legal consequences, it remains kind of unwritten, at least publicly.
Exactly.
Regardless of what the courts finally decided, the immediate impact of Snoop's death.
Yeah.
It was just devastating. It sent shockwaves to the hip-hop community. People were mourning not just a young man, but that recognized raw potential that was just gone.
Yeah, and the music world wasn't ready to just let that talent disappear. Meek Mill, his label boss, his mentor, he made a point of cementing Snoop's importance. He put Snoop's vocals, that unique, aggressive flow.
Right on the mixtape.
Yeah, on the outro of the 2016 mixtape DC4. It felt like a really personal tribute, a permanent marker of respect within the label's history.
And the influence didn't just stop there, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Even years later, he's still held in the highest of standards, as they say. Peers, new artists, his name gets shouted out frequently in songs and interviews. It really shows the talent was unforgettable.
Mm-hmm.
And his family worked to keep his voice out there, too. There were posthumous releases that helped cement his legacy. March 2016, his team put out the single Comeback Freestyle, along with a music video, a powerful reminder of what he could do.
And then later that year, December 2016, a full album, right? 16 and Run and Resurrected, 12 tracks released by his family.
Yeah, that album, 16 and Run and Resurrected, it felt like the family's effort to kind of complete the story his career never got to tell. It had collaborations with artists like Senile, Moneybags. It gave us a final extended look at that raw, unfiltered talent that was cut short. Ultimately, Lil Snoop's story is it's a profound document of potential that never got realized. A young life brimming with artistic possibility, just lost to the incredibly rapid escalation of, well, a trivial dispute.
That duality is what really sticks with you, I think. You have this immense artistic promise confirmed by a major label deal with one of rap's biggest names.
Right. Only to see it completely extinguished by violence rooted in this random low-stakes conflict over something as simple as a video game. It's just, yeah, tragedy on a profound scale.
And if we try to connect this back to the bigger picture, you land on a really difficult question, don't you? You have this minor argument, maybe a small debt from betting, leading to potential life sentences for the perpetrator.
Or even the death penalty.
Or even the death penalty, exactly. Well, this massive amount of artistic potential is just instantly erased. So when you look at this case, a trivial argument over video game betting escalating to first-degree murder charges, does the severity of those potential legal consequences truly offer justice? Or does it maybe just highlight the, don't know, the inherent failure sometimes in resolving conflict and the heartbreaking ease with which life can be taken in these high stakes, high tension environments. What does this tragedy really tell you about all that?